Scope of President Trump's immigration crackdown has been expanding, and more U.S. citizens are getting caught in the crosshairs. ProPublica just released a massive new report that found more than 170 citizens have been held by immigration agents over the course of the first 9 months of this administration. One of those Americans detained was attorney Robert Held, seen here at a protest last week in the Chicago area. He's part of a group of attorneys who have been coordinating and doing rapid response efforts and asking law enforcement key questions, all in an effort to protect protesters. Watch.
You state troopers are an unlawful assembly right now because you're impinging on our First Amendment right to free expression. We do not understand your instructions. You have weapons. We do not have weapons. You are invoking, you appear to be threatening violence. We're not threatening violence.
And Robert Held joins us now. Robert, it's good to see you. You were detained for 8 hours by ICE. Tell us what that was like for you and also what it maybe taught you about what's happening to immigrants across your city.
Well, I think my experience was likely far different than the experience that immigrants are facing on a daily basis. As a protester, I was put in a comfortable room. I had water, access to a toilet. I was given dinner, and I was allowed to make a phone call. There was space to lie down over the 8 hours. I think the immigrants are not being treated the way I was treated, and I think it's shameful about what is happening in this country right now with respect to ICE.
So if you can, Robert, tell us about the decision to protest, because we've heard the language from the administration, from Tom Homan and others, that these types of protests, yours and others, are interfering with law enforcement operations. And we played a little clip of you there talking to those that were out there. But walk me through the decision to protest and your rebuttal to the argument that what you are doing, these types of protests, are a disruption or in some ways, blocking of ICE or law enforcement operations.
Well, my decision to protest was fueled by what I saw on videos, and that was that federal agents were literally using less lethal weapons on peaceful demonstrators who were expressing their First Amendment rights. And it was actually appalling to see people get shot with pepper balls, rubber bullets, tear gas canisters being thrown into peaceful demonstrators. And I think there's a video that maybe you've seen, which is of a priest getting shot in the head at the very detention facility where I've been protesting. So that's what motivated me to begin protesting.
There's a part of this ProPublica reporting that I wanted to highlight, which is that among the citizens detained are 20 children, 2 of whom have cancer, 4 who were held for weeks with their undocumented mother and without access to the family's attorney until a congresswoman intervened. What are the legal options that people in these situations have if they are U.S. citizens and if they are being denied their rights and they are being detained by ICE?
Well, I think that underscores, I think, the overall point that's been made by many others, which is that we're supposed to have due process in this country. And due process means a lot of things, including the right to legal counsel and to have a judge opine on the propriety and legality of what ICE is trying to do. I'm not an immigration lawyer. But clearly what's happening when people are whisked off the street by federal officers that do not have name tags or any insignia. We have no idea what agency they're working for, some of whom are denied their due process rights clearly. Some are whisked out of the country on an expedited basis without any opportunity to even speak to a lawyer or appear before a judge. So it's really appalling. And it goes contrary to our fundamental understanding of what it is to be in America.
Robert, really quickly, are you going to sue the government for its illegal detention of you? What rights do American citizens have who are detained by ICE officials and ICE agents when the DHS press office has gone out of their way to say repeatedly, no, Americans are not being arrested by ICE agents?
Well, some of the statements being made by the administration are just patently false. I know from my own experience that demonstrators have been protesting peacefully, exercising their First Amendment rights without any interference, without impeding federal officers. And in my particular case, I didn't commit a crime. I was not charged with a crime. It was never explained to me why I was detained. But I guess the overall point is that the Constitution applies to citizens and non-citizens alike. So my hope and expectation is that the administration will reverse course in terms of the appalling conduct and denial of due process rights to immigrants and to citizens alike. It really needs to change.
All right, Robert Held, thank you so much for joining us. Greatly appreciate you joining us and sharing your story.
Thank you.